today we have unusual video. So this is kind of podcasts. We never did it before.
So no playing this time,
No,
unfortunately.
no table tennis.
Yeah.
The reason it came suddenly, we are just came from ITTF Annual General Meeting, which includes also the election of president. And after we came back, me personally, I don't know what about you, I have received several phone calls. People were asking what was the matter.
I haven't received the phone calls, but I was trying to read in the internet what the information is available, and I didn't find anything that would describe the situation, what happened there. So
Yeah, I have several calls from different countries, and people were asking what was wrong. And some friends, they said, was it this way or was it that way? Most probably they read an article or two, and they asked my impression as the person who was there, present. And
yeah, but let's describe briefly what the election was about. So there were two candidates.
in the beginning there were three.
Yeah, but
One was withdrawn, and there were two candidates.
Petra Sörling, the
Reigning president.
current president of International Table Tennis Federation, and
Al-Mohanadi.
who was also long time near ITTF and
Vice president.
Yes. And from the beginning, it was clear that it will be very tough competition, if I would say, because people were talking, asking, but let's say why we were there, because we were representing Estonia. So we had the chance to be in the room and listen and even to vote.
Yeah, this was the main idea, to give our vote to one of the candidates. But I cannot say that we were very well prepared, but definitely we have checked the program of both candidates. And at least me, I didn't see really principal difference between the program of two candidates.
Yeah, so they're very similar. So they work together in ITTF. One is president and another is vice president. And yeah, it was just small differences that Al-Mohanadi wanted to invest more in the development. But this is a big question mark what the development is.
But both of them were calling for integrity, transparency.
Even Al-Mohanadi,
Yes, both of them, yes. And for me, it seemed that the competition was between two persons, not between two programs. And so we are together, so we decide whom we give our vote. We were, I would say, almost neutral.
Yeah, and from the beginning, my idea was that this president position doesn't decide so much, because now we have World Table Tennis and Steve Dayton as CEO for ITTF, actually. So I didn't expect that it would be this kind of fight. I think maybe they even could agree who will be next president. So this was, So, and then when some federations talking to us that it will be like, it's very serious and so on, and it's very even. So I didn't think it was so serious.
So hot.
Yeah.
For me, it was more interesting to vote for vice president candidates.
But we didn't reach this stage.
Yes, unfortunately. But there were, how many, 17?
Candidates, yes.
17 candidates for eight.
Yeah.
For 8 white presidents places. And there were different candidates from different countries. It was interesting, and some of them has quite interesting programs. Some were very famous in table tennis, some not.
And some people distributed the list how you should vote, which candidates.
Yeah, many. Yeah, there were many variations of what is the best for table tennis or what is the best for, I don't know, for whom. Yeah. So there were a lot of talks. And for president, it was not that hot at that time.
No.
For me, it seemed that it was really personal, yes. Like in table tennis.
Yeah,
Who
we
wins,
found out that later that it was personal.
Yes. So what was the problem? The difference between votes for Ms. Sörling and Mr. Al-Muhannadi was too narrow.
It was 2 votes difference.
2 votes different. 1 person.
Mm-hmm.
So 104 against 102.
Mm-hmm.
The score in the whole was 98-87. In the whole, I mean delegates who voted on the venue.
Yes.
And online, 17 against 4.
Yes.
So the question is not only that in the beginning there were declared that 16 delegates were present online, and final result was 17-4-21.
Mm-hmm.
But also those candidates who were inside the venue voted for Al-Muhannadi.
Yeah.
And the score was quite, the difference is quite certain or considerable.
Yeah.
Yeah, 98 against 87. And opposite online for Petra, 17 against 4 for Halil. Both sides are trying to refer to the constitution of the ITTF, but we have checked the constitution. It's not clear how it should be.
Yeah. Because one of the sides said if the meeting was suspended, everything is not valid, and another side says that we can elect vice president till November 25, and so on.
Also, one side referred that after roll call, nobody can be
added.
At the beginning, we had a roll call, and we clearly have an evidence of how many online countries were present at the roll call. Now that number is higher, that's clear for everyone. Can we check all the countries? Can you list the 21 countries who voted online? And can we see their login time, as you mentioned? When did they enter? And can we check, based on the live streaming, when did the roll call happen during the beginning of the General Assembly?
Yes.
And can you explain the constitutional rights so we understand if someone joined later without being announced and without being roll called, how did they be eligible to vote?
And the other side refer to the article of the ITTF Constitution 148.1. They say that any country could join the meeting during the process. But actually the article 148.1 says only that each association present, not in arrears, shall have 1 vote. Nothing talking about whether they are online, they join after roll call or before. Mm-hmm. So it's like also kind of manipulation.
Yes.
So it doesn't say anything if they come later or before.
Pay your money and vote, yes.
Yes, pay your money and vote. But this is also kind of manipulation.
Yes.
But this is not manipulation of the ITTF office. This is manipulation from the media.
Yes. Yeah, so somehow I even didn't pay attention much because it was quite fluent, everything. Yeah, so this is what's quite, procedure is going quite fast. And then as everything is recorded, so the Al-Muhannadi side started arguing that it was 16, and then it was obvious 16. And then the chairman, he could not give like clear explanation from my point of view. So how they joined and what is allowed and not. So it was the chair of the meeting was very weak from my point of view.
Certainly he's a nice guy, but this time it was maybe too difficult for him. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
then-
not well prepared for this.
It happens also one time in 4 years, and then you should be really
You
prepared.
mean not AGM, but
the
elections.
election.
The elections,
Yeah.
yes.
Because for us it was also strange. We were voting in the beginning for the countries which will host the next World Championships, and then it was clear that that London is 2026, and then we were voting for 2027. It was Kazakhstan, Astana. For 2028, it was only one candidate, Fukuoka, Japan. And then Japan. And then the last one was 2028. It went to Rio de Janeiro. And for this, we were using this electronic device.
Yeah, they call it Lumi. Lumi is the system, not the device yet.
And this is quite simple, like small telephone with, and then you just use 3 buttons, then to choose, and then you can confirm, or you can go back and reconfirm. And then we were very surprised that.
And it works fine, and nobody protested. Although there were tough competition
for the
host countries, for the host cities for the World Championship.
And then for the election of the president, they decided to make it on paper ballots. And then this was, for me, it took so much time.
It was also kind of sudden decision, wasn't it?
Unexpected, yeah. So it was not planned from the beginning.
Exactly. And from the very beginning, it was also not clear how it would go. And some candidates, so they were following synchronized translation to different languages. And it seems to me that sometimes these translations were not correct.
Yeah, with these cards and ballots, so maybe it's not easy topic. So because even for me, some words, maybe I don't know even in Russian. So like
roll call.
Roll call, this is fair. So they repeat it all the time, this word roll call. And then this is...
Now we know.
Yeah, now we know, yes.
And also the chairman, it seemed that he was native speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when Raul was talking, everything was clear.
Raul is secretary of...
Yeah, Raul is secretary. So after all, we are in a very bad situation, I think, for table tennis.
Yeah, so it was when we came to this situation, we also talked to Bosi, a former European president. So he was very upset, and he said it's a very difficult situation, very difficult to find the way out, and it will take time. And it looks like he was right.
What was happening in the end of the meeting? Because the meeting was suspended, it was stopped somehow.
It was stopped. The federations who supported Al-Muhannadi as candidate, they were protesting, they were not...
agree with the result.
They didn't agree with the result. And then they took the microphone, and from their side, one by one, they actually confirmed the same point. It was 16, how it has become 21. It is not correct, and then we can't accept it, and so on.
Raul, I am a sportman, and this is game. I can win and I can lose. But when you announce the number, physical can be one in his room, can be his one in toilet, come in later. But online, when you see online 16, 17, you cannot keep it secret with you until the voting. Nobody in the AGM, he know 21 except you. This is not allowed online. When they start the roll call, you cannot put it anyone from online.
From my point of view, they were sometimes very emotional, but at the same time within frames.
Yeah, so the emotion...
They were not aggressive.
No. So
absolutely not.
No.
But then Petra Sorling has left the meeting.
Yeah, first she started with saying thank you for being elected.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I can promise you that together with the team, I will do my very best. I also like to take the opportunity to thank the executive board that I had the pleasure to work with during the last mandate.
And after this, protest started, and then she disappeared.
She kept herself silent. Chairman and Raul were answering always. Yes.
Or sometimes they were trying not to answer. So it looks like for them.
Yeah, but they continued the dialogue with the delegates.
Yes.
And then suddenly everything was over.
The meeting was suspended. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
After it was announced that Petra Sorling was re-elected, in a different media it was written that she felt not comfortable.
Yeah, she didn't feel safe, and some federations said that she was evacuated with the help of the Swedish embassy. So the situation was so serious, it was some kind of threat for her that she was, she had to use the help of the Swedish embassy. So this was like the rumor among the participants.
From my point of view, it was not that serious. But maybe I don't feel the same when you are sitting in front of all delegates and they are trying to push.
Yeah, but I think it was nothing like this, that it was some kind of threat. Actually, nobody claimed anything against her, so it was against Raul and Chair. Yeah, so and then it was very strange that they presented, somebody has presented, maybe not her, that it was like physical threat, or it was then we have to leave and so on.
Now let's play the game. If you were her, so if you were sitting in the presidium, recently elected, how you behave yourself
in this situation?
Yes. In such a situation,
it's very
it's very difficult, and it, in some extent it's very stupid. But still,
if you play table tennis, then 2-2, decisive set, and then 10-9, and you have the possibility to make the ball wet. You make the ball wet, you serve, you win. So is it correct? Have you made the ball wet or not? So this is for me.
Was it intentionally or just your sweat?
Maybe you wanted to make it dry with your wet shirt. So this is and then, but for sure, I think she had to be on the position of the former president, of current president. She had to take responsibility for the situation. So I don't know how, but she would need to step forward and to offer something. And then
or maybe to continue with the election of the vice presidents.
Yeah, definitely, because as we found out later from Rusin Mink letter, you found it, that many vice president candidate came for their own
their own funds.
Yeah, they paid for their trip. They also for
trip accommodation for
everything. For a person
yes.
like Rusin Mink, it's also very difficult to find time. And then even for us, when we should vote again for vice president, should we go to some new country or to vote online? Anyway, it is such a big trouble. So this is.
But I think it was the case for all vice presidents.
Yeah. You mean it was difficult for them to come?
No, I mean they all should come paying their own expenses. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it would be kind of bribe.
I see.
From the either ITTF or from the organizing committee.
Mm-hmm. But why do they have interest in this case to come?
They want to become vice presidents.
Mm-hmm. But what is the point?
It's like you are a board member. Mm-hmm. You can influence on the decision. You can try to direct the National Table Tennis Federation as you think it's better for table tennis or for your country or for any other reasons. Mm-hmm. Like same as being a president, yes. Yeah. So vice president is kind of high position, I think, yes. Maybe it could be one step before candidacy for president elections. I don't know.
But do you think now ITTF as organization has much, of course they have much influence on table tennis, but in general, so we have a feeling that no matter who will be the president, no matter who will be vice president, it will hardly change anything.
Who knows? Mm-hmm. Let's pretend that they can change something. Somebody is sitting and deciding how table tennis should be developed.
Yeah. But I also
what color of the lines should be on the table, what color of the surface of the table should be.
I was also surprised there are so many small countries. So Estonia is not even the smallest one. So who were at the meeting and presented at the meeting, and then they also vote and they try to influence the.
One vote is one vote.
Yeah, so this
doesn't matter if you are representing a small island with a population of 5,000 people or you are representing China.
Yeah, this is. Maybe it sounds strange, but it functions. It functions like this. Yeah.
Yeah, but after the elections, there were some articles in different media, and we think that this event was covered only from one side, from the side of ITTF, and the other side is.
Yeah, but this is also for me. The side is ITTF is Petra Sörling at the moment because she is president, and then. She controls the ITTF webpage, so this is the position of ITTF, and actually this is position of Petra Sörling. Yeah?
I like the position of the current CEO of the ITTF.
What did he say?
Let me quote his words. We sincerely apologize for the current confusion. After discussions with the President Petra Sörling, we have decided to temporarily suspend the AGM. We will attempt to sit down with both parties and try to find some solution. I think it was, it's the only way how to make it acceptable for both parties. Try to sit together and try to negotiate.
Yeah, but for me, I discussed with you in the morning that when he says we will discuss with both parties, for me, he's like a third party.
Or somebody who is sitting above. Yeah. It's possible that this discussion leads to nothing. And then I think both sides can agree on the third party who will somehow judge the situation.
I still think they should agree about something, Petra Sörling and Al-Muhanadi, so because if nobody is ready for compromise, then it is very bad.
Yes, I think that this is the perfect solution if they can agree on something.
But they are not ready, so.
It seems at least. Although their program is very similar. Yeah. Programs are very similar. So they are standing for the same things. Why they cannot agree?
Yeah, personal. For me, as a small federation, I was always keeping in mind that I was playing in Doha 2004 as player from small nation, but now it is no longer possible. And it's not even under discussion. So somehow they promise small nations, we will collect even more money and then we will give you some help, maybe training courses and maybe some equipment, but actually for small nations, the possibility to take part in this big event is the biggest motivation.
Yeah, before it was all world championships and even European championships was kind of table tennis festival when many countries were participating, and even from small country you can play.
Yeah,
it was also good motivation for players.
For players, for sellers, because we talked to the brands who were selling the equipment
in the hall,
in the venue, so the sale was close to zero except the souvenir balls and so on. So this is very bad.
So we call for changes. Or not?
To whom?
To whom? Yeah, but we hope that the situation finally will be settled.
We just hope, but we don't see in reality that it can be settled. So.
Yeah, what we can say from our side? From our side, we can say nothing. We are not investigators. We have no possibilities, no knowledge, no power to do it. We can only share our impression.
Yeah, but maybe it comes to my mind now that we really can just appeal to them that they should sit together and find a solution. So maybe to be like double president for 4 years or something. I don't know. Yeah, but this is.
Yeah, but I think that the solution could be found and they could came to kind of agreement.
Yeah, because Petra Sörling and Al-Muhanadi, they represent 50-50, half of the federation. So maybe two votes more or less. But in reality, there are people behind Al-Muhanadi who, and then you can't just put them away. And you should take into account their opinion, I would say so.
I think that investigation is needed in this situation if they cannot find a solution.
But
together.
investigation take months and years, so this is So this is the work for the lawyers, and then this is just
for investigators.
Yeah, and then you take a look at this article, and then you can article 148. You can argue about this for ages. Yeah, so this is just. No, I think if they don't agree about anything, so this, or maybe Petra Sörling can use the force. So she is the president. That's it. As I said about the match is over. Yeah, you can argue if the ball was wet but the match is over.
Yeah, but you can appeal officially.
Yeah, you can.
And then they have to consider your appellation.
Yes. Yeah.
So Khalil Al-Muhannadi for sure will appeal.
For sure. Yeah.
Yes. The best situation if they can agree without going to court or elsewhere. I think so.
We hope for this. Yeah.
Yeah, we hope for this, that ITTF can continue its work.
I would like to share a small prize for the comments of this video. So we will select one of the best comment which we find is good, and then I have ITTF pen and key holder from this Congress or this general meeting, and we will send it to the winner. Thank you very much for watching us.
Thank you for watching and waiting for your comments, and also waiting for a solution from the ITTF leaders.